Hey guys, it's Chris Mitchell here with Devilcat Amps and CMG Guitars. Today I'm introducing you to a couple new products. First of all, the Mean Gene amplifier that we have here today. This is our new 15-watt Class A all-tube amplifier, and of course it's made in our Statesboro, Georgia facility. Right here in Statesboro, Georgia. It's hand-wired and handmade. We have a unique way that we make it. We use a circuit board as well as wiring over to the chassis. So nothing that actually touches the chassis is mounted to the chassis. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in detail, and of course you can read all about that stuff on our website. But I'm going to play and show you what this amp can do today. As mentioned, the Mean Gene is a 15-watt Class A tube amplifier. And as you would expect, it gives you that nice clean sound and punchy sound that you would expect from a Class A amp. But it also gives you that nice breakup tone that you would want from a Class A, the ability to push the amp's tubes to the point of breaking up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the switch. We have a speaker attenuator on the back of the amplifier. I'm going to flip the switch and I'm going to show you this attenuator because that's one of the Mean Gene's coolest features. Now what the attenuator does is it drops it down to quarter power. So I'm going to come over to my volume setting and I'm going to crank up this volume for you. And I'm going to let you hear what it does at low power. We're now at a quarter power. And I'm going to let you hear what the amp does at a quarter power just driving the tubes. That's just the tubes. I'm not engaging the channel's boost, nor am I engaging the dirt channel as well. I do have that option. But I tell you what, let's do this. I've got the wattage down to quarter watts, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump in the boost here. We're going to pump that power up just a little bit. Here's with the boost. Now the cool thing about the boost is what we've also added in the Mean Gene is we've added a tone knob here. And the tone allows me to go from dark to bright. So if I want to have a lot brighter tone, I just turn the tone knob all the way up and it's going to give me a brighter tone. Here it is without the boost. Here it is with the boost and the tone all the way up. And you can really hear the amp get throaty in that upper register right there when I was hitting those upper high notes there. When I'm here's the tone boost again. Right on that A, it was just really getting that nice throaty screaming tone. So this amp is pretty sweet. It's got some nice features. And I got to say that we designed the Mean Gene to be everybody's everybody's go-to amp when they want a smaller club setting. It's not a one-trick pony. You know, here at Devilcat, we don't like one-trick ponies. I'm not one of those guys that, hey, you'll never see me build an amp with 3 knobs, okay? That's not what we do. We want an amp that can give you a lot of different tonal varieties, a lot of different things coming at you sonically, and a lot of things that, shape your ears a little bit that you can really get your tone out of, not just what I think your tone should be. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to pull back the tone on the boost, and I'm going to also pull my volume back down to a reasonable level, and I'm going to go ahead and engage the I'm going to disengage, the speaker attenuator. I'm going to throw the amp back up to full power. There you go. You got the full power now. And we're going to talk a little bit about the other amp features. As usual with our amplifiers, we like to incorporate our proprietary dirt stage, which we kind of think of it as your favorite classic sound built into an amp, okay? And we've also given you some options, like we did with the Jimmy. This has a volume and a gain, but the volume also acts as a boost if you want to. If you have the volume all the way down, there is no boost engaged. You just basically go, here's your clean sound. Then I've got the dirt. Now if I turn the volume up, I get a little bit of a boost. But you really start feeling the boost when it gets to 3 o'clock. So if I pull the volume up to 3 o'clock, and let's say I'm playing on a clean sound, that was a nasty chord. But that's what the amp does. It basically gives you the option to have a nice clean, and then if you want to back the gain down, back the volume down if you will, a nice subtle tone switch the quarter down, switch it down to quarter power, then you can let the tubes drive. You can also pull it down, you get the amps overdrive sound built in with the dirt channel, and then you can let the dirt act as a boost. And the whole time, when I act as the boost, I can choose what kind of tone do I want out of that boost. And it really depends on what kind of room you're playing. If you're like me, you know, we played a lot of different type venues, and sometimes you're playing at a place where it's just basically tin and wood. And those kind of rooms you may want to pull down on that high. Our bass player was telling me the other day that he had a gig in Savannah, and the room he played at had glass walls and stone floors all around. And they could not play quiet enough. And that's what this amp is designed to do. If you're in a room like that, drop it to quarter power. Drop it down. Tone it down. Pull off the highs. Let it kind of give you what you need for that room. You know, we're not looking for just 3 knobs and one of those being volume. We're actually looking to let you dial in your tone. I was on the phone yesterday with Kev, and Kev was talking about that he gets kind of geeky. He gets kind of nerdy with his foot pedals. He gets through a 6-channel EQ before he even goes into his amp because he knows exactly the tone that he wants. And that's one of the things, you know, I think the days of the guy just, you know, playing maybe a 2-knob amp or a 3-knob amp, there are those guys out there that like that. But we really are looking for the guy that really wants his amp to give him what he wants out of it so that you don't have to play with a lot of things on your pedal board. Of course, if you do like that, we do have the effects loop built into the amp. And we have that with all of our amps now. All of them come with effects loop. And of course, the Jimmy and the Mean Gene on the dirt channel also acts as a boost. So that's pretty cool. Now you can see here that I've got my tone, everything at 1 o'clock. We've kind of preset it that way. It would, as you guys may or may not know, amplifiers treat tone a little differently than a mixing console. These are definitely relative to each other. So just because you turn up the mids doesn't mean it just affects the mids. It actually affects the whole spectrum of sound that you get. That's the way guitar amplifiers work. The other thing that we've done with this amp is that we've allowed you to use any tube configuration that you want. We put 6L6s in there, and we like the 6L6 sound. I like the nice tight attack that you get from 6L6, but you can also get a nice spongy attack from EL34s. It'll also drop the wattage more if you put 6 V6s in there. So it'll drop it down to even less wattage, and then of course, by the time you put the 6 V6 in there, it's way less power, and then you flip it to quarter power, and you're running about a 1-watt amplifier there. So you can really get that overdrive at even lower wattages. And of course, the 6L6 is what I'm using in this amp right now. All right, let's listen to it a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of tones. We're gonna try some different guitars into it today. Of course, the guitar I'm showing you guys today is our Ashley model. This is what we won last year's Best in Show at Summer NAMM. This is, let's see, I think we're on serial number 138 now, so we've come a long way. And I think we rolled 150 out of the factory this week, so I'm pretty happy about that. We're doing a lot of custom work too, and this finish is our Georgia Sunset. It's a really nice sunset finish that we've got here, and it's a beautiful African mahogany back. You guys can see that. We do a lot of care into the inlay work and to the guitar's design. So I think if you want to check out the guitars, go to cmgguitars.com, and of course the amplifiers are at devilcatamps.com. Let's see what this amp can do. All right, now I'm playing the amp right now with no reverb, but I'm going to put the reverb on right now just so that you can hear it. Here's the amp with reverb. We've got an Accutronic short tank reverb tank in here. It sounds great, but I'm going to give you a little bit of reverb to hear what it sounds like. And I like it about 1 o'clock. So you can tell the reverb tank actually has pretty, quite a long throw on there. It really has kind of a nice decay to it. Of course, the more gain I have, that more it acts in and more it engages, and the longer that throw is. So if you're playing with a lot of gain, you may want to back it down a little bit, especially if you're boosting it and putting the gain on there. And of course, I've got the volume on boost, and now I'm going to engage the boost a little bit even more. And you can hear the decay. There you go, that's nice. What a nice sound. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and switch guitars. Let's take a look at what it sounds like with a single coil.